to Creating Space. Today we're going to talk about post-election stress and anxiety. And joining us is the country's national social scientist and our most one of our most beloved psychologists, Dr. Honey Carandang. Hi, Doc Honey. Thank you so
Hi,
much
Karen.
for
Good
having this
afternoon.
good afternoon. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us.
Well, I think it's a good conversation that we're gonna have.
Kasi remember, we're planning something far pa ahead into the future, but the people are telling us we need help now na, now na. So that's why Doc Honey really gave time for this is like short notice lang. So thank you Doc Honey for being with us. First off, Doc Honey, can you tell us about post-election stress and anxiety? What is it?
Yeah, it's probably what the first thing I can say is what most people are feeling now, especially the young ones. It's what most people are anxiety and stress, no, and sometimes even depression. And yung parang feeling of low energy, parang I don't want to do anything, that kind of thing has come upon us because of the post-election, and because also of the pre-election. No, it's not just the post-election. The pre-election was a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and joy, and all that, and people gave their whole heart and soul and body, and then the election happened, and then people got disappointed naturally because that's the anxiety. That's anxiety. It's not just anxiety and stress. It's also a kind of a depressive feeling. Not a clinical depression, but sadness, grief. There's a lot of grief, no, because we lost something. We lost a lot of things, not just the elections. We lost as a young people, we lost our hope to that what we did will lead to this thing, to something, to a win, panalo natin to. So there's a loss. I think anxiety comes from this loss. But it's not just a loss, it's a loss of maybe even ideal, no? The loss of disillusionment of what is valuable to us, no? What is true, what or the values, no? Values were also violated. It's not just like we were disappointed because we did not win. Young people are disappointed because they did not hindi na napanalo, but that's not all of the story. That's not the whole story. The whole story is that people, young people especially, mga kabataan, they gave so much. This is the unprecedented, never happened in our history, that people volunteer, give instead of take, give everything, care for each other, be kind to each other, help each other, clean when it's clean the venue, uh, are nice to each other. When somebody needs something, you give your food, you give everything. So it's a very, very deep kind of disappointment. It's a very, very deep kind of grief. It's a very, very deep kind of loss that is not easy to take. I think people are still trying to take it, because the first thing you do when you lose something big as this, no, not just the one thing, but everything, your dream, your hope, your ability to see what is good, and all that is parang dampen, talagang tinalukban, ano, tinalukban ng madilim. So, and it was all light, then it became kind of darkness. That's another loss, no, from light to darkness. So, I think we need to accept it. We need to know that our feelings are normal. We need to know that we are not alone in this feeling of anxiety and sadness and grief, no? And we need to go through a process of mourning and grieving. It's a process. So maybe the beginning we have what we call disbelief. How can this happen? And it's very difficult when you're in disbelief, but almost everybody goes through disbelief. How did it happen? How come? Can this thing happen in the world? I mean, it's not supposed to happen. So ganyan. So talagang such deep disappointment. No? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the anxiety. The anxiety is all of that: grief, sadness, disappointment, disillusionment, anger,
Yeah.
and everything. That's the whole of anxiety. The umbrella of anxiety has all of these feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about feelings, Doc Honey, and I saw in your post at MLAC, you said
Yeah.
we need to take care of our sadness, allow and embrace our feelings so that we can move forward. Yeah,
Yes.
because people have been telling us, move forward na, move forward na. And me
Yeah.
personally, it's like, hindi na, hindi pa ako okay. I'm still
Yes.
sad.
Right, right. I think we have to allow ourselves to feel the feelings, because the only way you heal is to allow the feeling. You don't skip it. When you skip it, it's like a wound that's there and you put plaster on top of it. Then the wound is not healed, but it's covered. And what happens when the wound that is healed, not healed, is covered? It festers. So we will not heal.
Yeah.
So that's why I said allow the feelings to come. They're normal. We have to express. We have to go through a process of mourning. And one of the characteristics of the mourning or grieving process is that people grieve in their own way. They have their own pace. You cannot say, ako naka-move on, bakit ikaw hindi pa?
Yeah.
We have to respect the pace of people, because people grieve in their differently, but also their pace is not the same. You
Right.
cannot expect this person one na kunyari parang na-move on na siya, yung isa hindi pa. That's okay. You don't compare. You don't
Yeah.
compare, because we have our own pace. And that's important to respect. We have to respect it.
And
And
Doc
then I
Honey,
said, yeah, go ahead.
you remember during our last conversation, you said specifically for Filipinos, we
Wait,
mourn together.
you know what? I cannot hear you well. Sorry.
You're saying that for Filipinos, we like coming together, and you're also talking about collective grief.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's very important. Okay, yes, good you brought it up, because we are grieving, and sometimes when you grieve, let's say you lost a loved one, you feel alone. No? You feel like you're the only one in pain. But now we have this collective grieving. One big help in our healing is that we are together. We support each other, we understand each other, we are connected to each other, and we are together in this. Because I remember how important it is to accompany each other. In fact, during the pandemic, the first thing I said was, okay, the first thing we do, let's pause and come together and share and listen to each other, talk to each other, connect with each other, so that you know that you are not the only one feeling that pain.
Mhm.
And I remember now, I just want to say it because I might forget.
Yes.
If you remember, Pope Francis was here, and there was a girl who was telling him about her problems. I think you may have heard this. And
Yes.
what Pope Francis said was to me very, very important. He said to her, I cannot take away your pain,
Mhm.
but I will be with you with my open heart.
Oh,
I
that's
will accompany you, because we cannot say to the other person, I know exactly how you feel, because you cannot know exactly, but you can know the pain of the person, because your own experience of pain, you can share it, and you can accompany the person. But
right.
you cannot take it away. You cannot
Right.
take it away. You stay with it, go together, be together, lessen the pain by being together, knowing that you are being cared for, you're being accompanied, and people understand what you're feeling, and that
Mhm.
it is normal to feel this way, and you give yourself space to feel the
Wow.
pain, the sadness, everything. Give the space. You allow it. That's so important for the healing. That's the first thing.
Right.
Whatever stage, yes.
I remember there's one housewife who reached out to me, and she said, I wasn't feeling so well during it. I was just depressed for the whole week. I can't do anything.
Yes.
Kaya alam mo, yung husband told me, huwag ka muna mag-isip tungkol sa bansa. May pamilya ka. You have to wake up for
Yes.
your family.
Yes. Yes. Good point. Good point. How do you balance? No?
How do you balance that? That you have
Yes.
more, but you also have to wake up and do something for your family.
Yes, yes, yes. First, I think you even if you feel the well, ano kasi many degrees eh. People I know talk to me right after the day after they couldn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they couldn't work. Many people couldn't do what they used to do.
Yes.
That's so true. I mean, everybody I talked to was like that. No? So I said, okay, that's allow it. So siguro we can also say, how long do we allow it?
Yes.
Yes. And how do we balance it? No? So you're depressed about what happened, you want to do something about the country. But first the other thing is self-care. Take
Yes.
care of yourself first because you have other things you need to do in your life. Like if you're a mother,
Yeah.
if you're a wife, if you're a breadwinner, for example,
Mhm.
no, you cannot just. But it doesn't mean that you don't have the pain inside. What I'm saying is, when I say embrace, it's painful. But even if it's painful, I will just do what I need to do. Not
Yeah.
right away. Not right away. I'll give myself a chance to be sad and to be not walang gana, to be walang gana and all that. But I also need to balance it so that I don't get stuck. Because the thing is, we cannot, the thing that's important in any process, like especially the mourning process, the healing process, is that when you're helping a person to heal, accompanying that person, as long as the person is able to move slowly and
Mhm.
not get stuck, then it's okay. So the one person might have a month, the other might 3 months, and so on. But that's fine. So you will have to balance it. Know that okay, ang hirap talaga tumayo yan, pero sandali, magbibihis muna ako, magluluto, kung kaya ng katawan mo. So you have to also listen to your own body. To
Yeah.
your body. Your body is your truth teller. Maybe your body is too weak. Allow your to rest. Now,
Mhm.
I was thinking, this it came to mind kasi
Yeah.
when animals get wounded,
Yes. Okay.
do you know what they do?
No.
They do nothing. They stay in a certain position. They don't eat. They do nothing because they are aware that their body is healing. In other words, they give space to be not productive. To translate it to human level, no? To be not
Yeah.
productive. Then maybe give yourself some space, but also have try to put some limit or deadline to your own, not your grieving. Your grieving you cannot put the deadline, but to your activity.
Activity.
Yes, I'm very, it's painful and all that, but I think 3 days from now or 2 days from now, I will already go to the office. Parang ganon. Or I will
Yes.
already cook the meal. May
Mhm.
ganun eh. Oo, may ganun. Pero without denying your feeling, carrying it with you, you can still function
Yes.
after a certain time. Yeah.
Another thing, Doc, because you emphasize that we have to be together. But on social media, it's very divisive. Like, there until now, it's post-election, but people are still fighting each other. Yes, I have anxiety, I have grief. And the people from the opposing side are still fighting with
Yes.
me. So how do we, aside from balancing our personal life, there's something that's happening in the society where we've been divided because of that.
Yes.
Plus, we have our grief pa, and we have the normal things that we're going to do.
Yes. This is a very interesting phenomenon. I think we have to look at psychologically. Nanalo na kayo, ba't kayo galit?
Yeah.
Nanalo na kayo, ba't kayo nang-iinsulto? Nanalo na kayo, ba't pa kayo naninira? We have to
Yes.
bring it out because it's what everybody's thinking. I'm bringing out. We'll talk about the white elephant in the room. No,
Thank
I,
you.
I
Thank you,
have to
Doc.
say it in a conversation. People might not want to say it. I will say the truth. That ang feeling ng mga tao na nag-work hard for their candidate who did well. I mean, who took care of each other, brought out the goodness in the Filipino, knows that the Filipino can clean up, the Filipino can take care, hindi lang inaunahan, kundi hindi alagaan. It is the biggest unprecedented thing that happened to us that we realized and discovered and manifested the good in the Filipino. Let's not forget that because it is not just something that we are wishing or wanting. It We felt it, we knew it, it happened. It can never be taken away. That's what I want to tell the young people. We have discovered something. We have manifested something. What? Telling the truth, taking care of each other, volunteering without asking for anything in return, giving of yourself totally without asking anything in return, caring for each other, mabait tayo sa isa't isa, very kind. This has not been a kind society. Remember, in the past years, we have been a violent society, a society that undermines our dignity, insults people, puts down the women. This is a society that was definitely not kind. Definitely. Before that event of the movement, and the movement came, and we found out we are good people. We are kind, we are caring, we are resourceful, we are giving, generous, and we know the good values, and it will never be taken away from us.
Yes.
So I think what we need to do now, never mind muna what the political thing is going on, let's keep this momentum of this movement that is a formidable force in our society that is still there. Call it, and people will come. They come together, not angry, not calling each other names, but in love and care and even joy.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving can be joyful. So if we keep that, we will be the force that will change our society and change the culture that we have from lying. A society that has been lying, and that is true. No matter what people tell me, I saw it, and I got trolled before
You're
children
still
were.
there.
Yeah,
So,
can you nawala ako?
hi everyone. Can you please comment if you can hear us or see us? Hi there. Hi Doc Honey. You were talking about the kindness.
Yeah, I was lost ba?
Oh,
Sayang, I was so emotional pa naman.
no,
Yeah,
you said that the kindness that we saw was unprecedented. It never happened before in your previous interview. You said in your almost 80 years of
yes.
existence in the Philippines, you've never seen that kind of
I've
kindness.
never seen that kind of voluntarism, that kind of caring, that kind of caring for environment, caring for each other, that kind of giving
Yeah.
of self. No, it is unprecedented in our history. So
Mhm.
I'd like to highlight it as one of the best things that happened to us in our history, especially because it involves mostly the youth.
Yes, that's true. But
That is
speaking
so
about,
important.
yeah, but I will be the we will
Devil's advocate.
yeah. Because another white elephant in the room, Doc Honey, is you talk about it. There was also a history of, you said, violence in our country. There was a history. We have a history. That's why we're afraid. To be honest, there's not just fear. There's not.
Yes,
Tell me, stress and anxiety. There's actually fear. The
fear, a
history
lot of fear.
that happened before will actually resurface again.
The fear, yeah, I didn't hear you well, but I think that,
Yeah.
in fact, last MLAC, my Institute Mindfulness, Love, and Compassion, we had a T-shirt maybe 5 years ago or 3 years ago, which said the front is yes to truth, and the back is no to fear. Because fear has been with us in the past at least 6 years, no, or past 6 years.
Yeah.
We have all experienced fear. I've met with EJK families in Caloocan. I've met with people in Smoky Mountain who were EJK victims of families, and we've met. Our team has gone through all over the place, and we've felt the pain of these people na pinatay yung tao na wala namang kasalanan, teenager, asawa, kapatid, gano'n, na pinatay. So, alam nilang hindi dapat first of all, hindi dapat pumatay. Number one. Number two, yung pinatay, wala namang dahilan bakit patayin.
Yes.
So I spoke against killing because the children, I was worried about children getting to see that killing and lying is normal in our society. I said, I will fight that. I cannot allow our children to think that lying is normal. It was becoming normal in anything you watch. no,
Yes.
on television. It was, and that's true. Even if people don't like me to say it, it's true. Lying was a way of life already, and probably is now. No, so a way of life, and then killing was becoming normal. I'll kill you, everybody. Now you know it. I saw it because in our play therapy room, we've been doing for 30 years. For the first time, the group therapy, no, one child said, "Okay, everybody, one of you, everybody want to see, line up there. Okay, I'll kill each one of you one by one." I've never seen that before. It's reflected in their play. I mean, it's not just a simple small group. That's a microcosm of society.
Right.
That's how the children are absorbing these wrong values. They
Right.
think it's okay. It's just a matter of talking. They don't see the wrongness of it. So I
Yeah.
think we have to fight that, the children and the youth, the values, the core values of truth telling, fairness, justice, kindness. That is what this movement is all about for me.
Right.
It's no more about counting. That's important. That's important. But beside that, apart from that, let us make this movement a movement for culture change.
How
We
can
will,
that be done? How
it's happening already.
past it, and how can we move past the stress, the anxiety, the fear, the killing, and go to, well, like you said, the culture of change?
It's just talking about it, validating what people are feeling, celebrating what has they have done, because sometimes people do some great things and they don't celebrate, they don't know it, they forget it, they take it for granted, and people just brush it aside and throw it away or hide it. No, media can hide it, can lower the value of it, make it not as valuable as it is. This time, let us put forth the
Yes.
value and the goodness that has been manifested and felt and experienced, and it's very, very real. Let's not lose it. It's there already. Just by knowing that we can be a force for culture change is enough. Then when we gather, then we can talk about it. We can discuss what, kind of, how do we continue to be truth tellers, how important it is for children growing up. Because in my book of self-worth and the Filipino child, I have an article there on the wisdom of the child. One sentence I say there is, children are innate truth tellers until adults in society teach them to lie.
Right.
So if and what is can they become truth tellers in our research? This is so important.
Yes.
The one way that a child can continue to be a truth teller in spite of the lying in society that they absorb is just to have just one significant adult to validate,
The light.
to connect with the child, to validate the child's truth, connect with the child, and be a guide to the child. The child will not succumb to the lying and the cruelty and the violence. So
No.
it's hope we can do it. Now it's not just one person. This big movement is a lot of people. They can be leaders. All these young people who gave their lives for this movement are now the leaders.
Yeah. And
They can
look,
be examples.
yeah, can you speak to young people? Because I've also spoken to a lot of volunteers, and most of them are young people. Can you talk to them, like you said, one in your even in your book, Seven Psychological Needs? The
Yes.
second need is the need for affirmation. Correct
Yes.
me if I'm wrong. So, because they listen to you, and for some reason, your words really, we hold your words, we embrace your words. It's really like Ate Angge said, you're a beacon of light for this country. Can you talk to the youth and the volunteers
Yes.
and the
I
one who really
yes.
worked hard, like you said, to bring about this culture of change? What can you say?
Yes. What I can tell you is I really first of all salute you. I mean, you have done such a great, unprecedented work, goodness in our country. You know it, you feel it, you felt it, you experienced it, you experienced caring for each other, giving, feeling good, giving yourself, your activity, your time, your puto, kung ano man yung iyong kutsinta, kung ano yung ginawa mo, na yung upuan, pag dumaan yung tao, dadaan ng tao, pinadadaan mo. What a manifestation of kindness. Nakakaiyak yung ginawa ng mga tao. No? no, ng voluntary, especially the youth. Nakakaiyak kasi totoo, napakagandang makita. For the past 6 years, I have not past years in my, sa 8 years, I've not experienced that kind of sterling quality of being caring, giving, without asking in return, mag-abono pa. And the most important thing is you felt the support of each other. It's still there. You can assemble it again. It's not gonna go away. A good thing that you've experienced in your life will never go away. It will always be with you. So nurture it. You have to celebrate it. You have to magnify it. You have to value it and proclaim it. Because then that is what I am. That is why I am hopeful for our country at my old age. I have children and grandchildren, and I'm mentoring a lot of people. But my hope is, I saw the kabataan, I saw the young people manifest, not just manifest, but manifest with so much enthusiasm and joy and passion. That is what we need to harness. That's our hope. That's what we need now. Whatever is happening in our country, if that force will go on there, and we'll teach our children to be truth tellers, we'll teach our children to be kind, to take care of each other. What a beautiful, beautiful country this will be. I mean, and it can happen because the force is big.
Right.
It's
But also,
large enough.
yeah, thank you for your affirmation words. But also, Doc Connie, there are people who are losing hope in the Philippines.
Who is what? Sorry.
People losing hope. Trending yung Pilipinas ang hirap mong mahalin. Or Pilipinas ang hirap mo ipaglaban. And
Yes.
right now, a lot of people are going out of the country, leaving the country.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, can you talk to people who've lost hope?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying that for me, that's we cannot lose hope because we've already found the gold eh. Nahanap na natin yung treasure sa loob natin eh. Hindi na yung mawawala eh. So for me, that's my hope.
Yeah. Last two questions.
Yeah.
The second to the last is, can you talk to friends who have fought during the elections, families that have been divided because of the elections, all these relationships that have been broken just because of different
Yeah, I'm having a webinar on that, how to mend family, especially families. No, the common thing is the parents are for this candidate and the children are of the opposite, and they live together. So how do you reconnect? Because what happened is they disconnected in a way, or they fought. Basta they had a negative thing going on, no? And now that tapos na yung pinaglalaban na tao, hindi pa tapos yung totoong laban, which is for the country, for the good of the country. Tapos na yung taong pinaglalaban, although the laban stays, no, the movement stays. So I think we need to, yung sinabi mo, basic needs also. One of the basic needs also is the need for transcendence, no? The need to look beyond what's going on and to have faith that something better will come out of this. That's the transcendence. You to see the rain, not to see the cloud beyond the rain, to see the end of the tunnel, to see the what is the lining, the silver lining. That is also a basic human ability and need. So one way to do that is to gather together and talk about and share. Sharing feelings, sharing food, sharing. That's one way to do it. The other is maybe get out of where you are and go to some place where there is nature. No, look at the find a place together maybe, or on your own, but find what is, it's very undiscussed, how nature and beauty can heal. So people who come to me now in our nature sanctuary, because we have a beautiful place in Batangas, which is very, very vast and open. Nobody wears masks there. It's open, and then it's everything is open, and there's a whole community. Yeah. So when people go to a community like that, a place like that, number one, it's already biochemically, the chemicals in the brain, the good that make you feel good are already activated just being in a place that's beautiful. Beauty actually heals.
Yes.
Beauty can heal, can make you feel, pacified, can make you feel calm, can get you out of yourself and look at the world and be touched by the beauty. So that's one. You look for that, or you look for activities that you enjoy doing together. I saw yesterday there was a group of young people, no, parang graduating, so they're already like what, magka-college. They went
Yes.
on, they just organized themselves. They were so disillusioned. They organized themselves. They went hiking, and then they brought
Mm.
food. We have activities that are enjoyable together. Kahit small group, big group, whatever, but start, no, start. And then always move your body. Exercise, walk, jog, whatever. Move your body. When you're feeling down and the, anxious, stressed, move your body. That's very basic, no? Because remember that the body stores our stress,
Yeah.
the body stores our trauma, our pain. Sometimes the mind says, I can move on already, and then you collapse. I've met in the past pandemic, I've had a lot of executives who are doing well working together because their mind said they conquered the body. They collapsed and got their heart attacks and then high blood pressure because the body is our truth teller. The body knows that you're stressed even if you deny it in your mind. The body feels it, stores it. So
Mm.
one of the things you can do, you can have a walking session, a running session, moving session, swimming, whatever, moving the body together, knowing that you are healing yourselves together. So there are many things you can do that will help you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this tip, Doc Honey. We're over time already.
Okay, go.
We only have
Yes.
30 seconds. I guess last na lang for now would be, what will you be parting words for everybody listening and watching? Of course, Ate Emge is telling us, is saying this from, I know she's from Switzerland. Doc Connie, how blessed to listen to you saying these words. I've been trying to find, to say to many around me, not to lose hope. Sorry, I can't see
Yes.
much.
You seem
Anything.
to lose hope. Yes. I think, again, as I said, go to that inner part of you where you know that your goodness, your kindness, and your being a caring person is there. It's been manifested. It's there. And so start from there. You're sad, you're feeling angry, whatever, but no, no, never forget in your sadness, in your despair, whatever, never forget that you've already found that goodness. You already found that caring. You already found that energy, that enthusiasm. So that to me is the biggest hope, and the biggest hope to me. That's why I'm not depressed anymore. Is I see the hope in the young people, their energy, their enthusiasm, and even their joy in getting together in this past months is unbelievably hopeful, unbelievably wonderful. I mean, and it will never be lost if we celebrate it, we proclaim it, we are aware of it, we nurture it, as I said, getting together, and we know that it is a very, very important, vital force in our lives now. So with that, you will be able to take care of your own feelings and manifest the hope, the goodness, the caring, the kindness, the truth telling that we all need to develop in our culture, which has been overcome by violence and lying and all that. You have a great task, and you're able to do it already. Just keep on knowing it and keep on moving slowly. Don't force it because it's already there. Just get together in little ways that I said earlier, do something enjoyable, but never forget that. And then meet. There's a meeting on, July 1 for people. I mean, I'm just saying that there's a date. But
Yes.
even without that date, you can do your own getting together. Remember what you have discovered, what has been manifested, which has always been there, but overwhelmed by fear, overwhelmed by violence, overwhelmed by unkindness, and the destroying your dignity. you found it. So your dignity will not be destroyed anymore because you know that you have it. The truth telling will be there. No matter how many lies are happening around you, you can tell the truth. Continue to tell the truth. No matter how cruel and pagmumura and violent people are, you can be kind because you have been kind. It's not a theoretical thing. It's already real. Just keep it. Just nurture it. What I can
Thank
say.
you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your words, Doc Honey. You just reignited the hope forever.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the comfort. I guess Ate Ange says it. Yeah.
Arellano.
Says it best. Thank you for the
Thank you,
comfort
Pam.
and
Mm,
wisdom you share.
okay. Yes. Thank
Thank you for
you.
that. Thank you, Doc Honey.
Thank you
Thank you so
too.
much for joining.
Congratulations. Okay.
No,
Bye.
bye
What?
for now, everyone.
Bye
Thank
for now, everybody. How do you end this?